Panera is getting rid of a ton of additives, and I have some thoughts on it, plus the truth about vegetarian-fed chickens, and a yummy way to eat radishes that you might not have tried before. Welcome to the Real Food Roundup, where I share with you the top real food news, tips, and recipes. And before we get into all the stuff for this week, I do want to start out with a little announcement. I'm feeling kind of under the weather. I've got like the aches and chills, and my stomach doesn't feel that great, and I've got a wee little bit of a fever. So just know that. I mean, I'm anticipating that this thing is going to hit me pretty hard. I'm feeling worse all the time, even just sitting here talking to you, but I want to get this done before I got feeling really bad. So if my energy seems low or I don't seem too happy to be here with you, just know I'm very happy to be talking to you. I just don't really feel that good right now. Okay, so into the stories. The first is that Panera Bread has put out that they're going to be removing 150 additives from their food over the next couple years. Now, I have a little bit of mixed feelings about this. I mean, you know that I'm all about real whole foods, that should be the basis of your diet for being healthy, and also to make the whole nutrition thing a lot less complicated. So that part of me is like, woohoo, go Panera, this is awesome. But I also have to be a little critical because I don't think that this move is gonna necessarily have as big of an impact as other things maybe that they could do, because I mean, some of these additives are a little more dubious than others, and I'm happy to see them go, but at the same time, a lot of these things aren't necessarily a problem as far as health is concerned. And I think that it would be great instead if they could say, we're gonna only serve pastured chickens, because these are chickens that are raised in a natural biological environment that respects how these chickens are meant to live. And that's great because one, it's healthier food for us, but two, it's dealing with the whole animal welfare side of things. And are we respecting these animals, or are we taking advantage of them and abusing them and shoving them into factory farms? But at the same time, I also recognize that that's not necessarily a really easy thing to do. I don't really know that there is the supply of these animals that are raised in the right way for an operation like Panera. I mean, we've seen Chipotle struggle with this too. They're trying to do it, but they're not really hitting the mark just because they're coming up against a lot of supply issues. That's one of the main barriers to this sort of thing. Now, with that said, overall, I am still pretty excited about this, and it's because changes like this show that we're seeing a shift in the minds of the consumers. So Panera wouldn't be doing this unless they thought it was going to benefit them as far as things that their customers want, or just overall improving their image in the eyes of the public. And I mean, that's a lot about marketing, but I mean, hey, they're a business. That's part of being a business. So I don't have a huge issue with that. So with this whole thing, you know, it shows that even if this change isn't something that's going to make a huge difference, that they're responding to something, you know, and that the way people are thinking about food is changing, and that people are becoming more aware about some of these issues and really thinking about what is actually in my food. And obviously the best way to know what's in your food is to make it yourself, but let's be honest, everyone eats out on occasion, okay? And it's nice to have these options that are at least trying to move in the right direction, and the more this stuff happens, the easier and easier it's going to be to get more real food options out there when you are away from home. The other thing I wanted to share with you is this article on the Washington Post website about vegetarian-fed chickens and what does that actually mean. And I had to talk to you about it because I made an egg video where I went through all the egg labels, but I didn't talk about vegetarian-fed, and this kind of jogged my mind and was like, okay, we need to talk about this. Vegetarian fed is kind of a good thing, but ultimately it's not a good thing. When you see vegetarian fed, what that should mean to you is that, okay, these chickens were not fed ground up dead chickens, which is something that has been done in the industry. So it's better than that. But chickens aren't vegetarians, they're omnivores. You know, when they are out in their natural environment in the grass, pecking around, they're eating worms and they're eating grubs and they're eating insects. And that's an important part of their diet for them to be healthy. So when you see vegetarian fed chicken, what that basically means is a chicken who wasn't raised on pasture. So that's something to keep in mind, and you want to get chickens that are raised on pasture, that are eating the diet that's appropriate for them, so that you can have the best food for you, and also know that these chickens are living a healthy life. And the recipe I want to share with you this week comes from yummybeet.com, and it's braised lentils with radishes, fava beans, and mint. And I just think this looks like a wonderful celebration of spring produce, and it's cool because I don't think we see a lot of cooked radish recipes. I think most people think of radishes as something you eat raw, either as a snack with some dip or something, or that you slice on a sandwich or put in a salad. But cooking radishes can be a fun new way to experience it and get a little bit of different flavors and textures and all of that. So I will share that recipe. That, as well as all the articles I've talked about, will be linked for you so you can go check that out. So that's it for this week's Real Food Roundup. I hope you liked it, and let me know in the comments, what do you think about this whole Panera removing the additives thing? Do you think it's a step in the right direction? Do you think it's just a big marketing thing and that it's not actually gonna make that big of a difference? Let me know. I wanna hear your thoughts, and if you are new to my channel and you want more healthy eating tips and nutrition info and recipes and all that fun food stuff, then make sure that you subscribe, because eating healthy and living a healthy lifestyle doesn't have to be complicated, and I want to show you how to do it. Thanks for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you next time.